Hey guys,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I just thought to let you all know. Wait, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
I just thought to say that personally, I think that all atheists are wrong, and I think they're all going to go to hell.
Good. Do you like the idea that we're all going to go to hell?
Yeah, because there is a God, and I don't find it nice that you guys say that there isn't, because there is.
Okay. And your
I'm
evidence...
having a real hard time believing the Scottish accent being really...
Yeah, but I'm just wondering on the evidence. Let's see if he's going to come up with Kalam.
All right.
Well, the evidence, I am God.
There we go.
Okay.
Who would believe God was Scottish?
No, I'm God.
Okay.
Now, I mean, all these people who are always out for this sort of showboating, I want a official debate, yada, yada, yada. They never turn up. I mean, they know that we're all here. Why don't they bring their A game?
Hello?
Oh, Lordy. Hello.
Hello, the practitioner here calling from Canada.
Hi.
So I just wanted to briefly mention something coming out of string theory that might actually be able to possibly bring God into the testable realm. Hello?
Okay, keep going.
We're waiting.
We're waiting with bated
Sorry, I
breath.
just want to make sure that the video connection's working first. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have read anything by Michio Kaku. There's a book he has out called Physics of the Impossible, and in it, he's actually suggested a particular model of string theory which allows for creation of a universe by focusing a laser on the smallest point in space-time, on the Planck length. Now, the thing is that if this idea is in fact possible, we could, in theory, say in a few decades to a few centuries, develop a laser that powerful and be able to create such test for creating such a universe on that point. And then, after attempting to create such a universe, if that succeeds, we could look for markers as to what would tell the difference between an artificially created versus a non-artificially created universe, and start looking for those markers in our own universe.
Do you get any more interesting later?
I think that's good. I like that. That's hilarious.
Skeptical of a God's existence. Now, the thing is, I am skeptical of a God's existence. I am an atheist myself. But nonetheless, I do believe that with this particular model, string theory might allow for a testability not only of itself, but for the existence of a God in a few decades to centuries.
I actually had a...
Let's see how you can do on the scientific trolling. And you're going to do this by focusing a laser on the smallest point of space, yes?
The idea is to try. The idea is, according to Michio Kaku's model, that by sending a laser onto the smallest unit of space-time, the heat generated would cause a bulk universe.
Do you understand that lasers have wavelengths to them? So what's the smallest wavelength you can get? Is infinite energy. To focus on the smallest space, you would actually need a laser of infinite energy.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that problem. But the thing is, like I said, we should be able to get a sufficient energy source, hopefully within a few centuries, especially if we can learn to build Dyson spheres or develop a solar plant.
I think you're missing the point, aren't you?
Well, either way, like I said, it was a suggestion by Michio Kaku. I'm just suggesting that in theory it might allow for in principle, a falsifiable concept of a God.
Yeah,
I thought he was good. I mean, come on. As trolls go, he was top shelf trolling.
It's becoming somewhat fearful to press the add to call button now.
Hey guys.
Hello. Just
Hey,
are you a troll or not?
No.
Oh, good.
The people
You're
before
required
were
by
kind
law
of
to
bad at
tell us,
trolling.
right?
You're
required by law to divulge it. If you're like an undercover troll, you have to tell us.
It's kind of like when the police are running after a thief and they say, "Stop, thief," and you're required to stop when they tell you to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How can we help, sir?
I'm just saying that Spartan J sent me here to flag you all.
Yeah, and?
Well,
Wow.
I flagged you all. I'm just saying.
Oh, good.
Wow, thank you. That's so inventive. Come on, at least the other guy was what was he? Nushin Kaku focusing his lasers on infinitely small areas of space. That was
true.
fun. I mean, come on. This is second-rate, half-assed trolling.
All atheists are wrong, dude.
Yeah. Do you get any more interesting? Is that your best? That's the best you can do?
I've got an interesting thing to say, yes.
I'll tell you what, we'll have a poll. When I post these videos, we'll have a poll and see who people think is the most interesting troll. And I think you're going to lose, which is sad. You can't even troll well. What a failure. Right. We will move on to... God knows. I have no idea what we're going to get next. Kimberly.
Although it should be said that Nushin Kaku's theory it is on a par with several of William Lane Craig's books.
Hi.
Hello, DPR.
Hello.
Andy Jack.
Yes, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Never better until I heard your voice.
Yeah, right, okay.
For those that don't know, Andy Jack is also known as Taxi Andy. He's someone that had an exchange of videos with Aaron about a year or so ago. The last time I spoke to Andy, he was a firm young Earth creationist. Didn't believe in evolution, but there was some optimism that he may have changed his views, but I don't know.
Yes, now that he's going by the name Kimberly Jeffries, it looks like he's changed quite a bit more than that.
My laptop, for some reason, is US. It's not working. It's been down the PC wheel to get repaired, and they told me that it's completely effed. So I'm on my son's girlfriend's laptop at the moment. I've got a Mac, but I haven't.
Can we get to the point, please? Can we move this along?
Sure, it's an interesting story, but let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, okay. Just a bit of an update for you. Doing some research on a chap called Dr. Grady McMurtry. I don't know whether you've heard of him at all. He's a young Earth creationist.
I did. I actually saw the video that you did on him.
Yeah, the guy is obviously way out, Aaron. You know, he's obviously lied, and you know, I phone in quite regularly and email into a Christian show over here in the UK called Revelation TV, and I put him right on this. You know, he said that this human femur was found by this chap, get the actual guy's name now, at Mount Blanco Museum. That's what he said, live on air via Skype, on Revelation TV, and I caught him out lying. Do you know what, Aaron? I think a lot of these young Earth creationists, they're up their own arse, mate, to be perfectly honest. They're up their own arses. Who would I rather believe? Would I rather believe a young Earth creationist who's up there spouting all this crap, you know, about creation from the Bible, saying that the Earth is 6,000 years old? It doesn't say that in the Bible whatsoever. Wherever they get this crap from, I haven't got a bloody clue.
Well, you tell us, Andy, because you actually believed it a year ago.
No, okay.
And you are the one that suggested that when we evolved from apes that we didn't yet have eyes or embarrassing penises yet.
Yeah, that's the one. Nice video, by the way. Yeah, that's right. Well, unfortunately, I was indoctrinated into that way of thinking because if you can imagine, I mean, I have a very simple faith, although my faith is being challenged greatly at the moment. I had some good Christian friends, Christian brothers, who I thought I could trust, and because my idea of eternal hell punishment differs from theirs, because they think that when you die, if you're not a believer in this age, you're going to go to hell forever, burn forever, you bastard, you're going to burn forever, and all this kind of thing. I said, well, hang on a minute, that's not my idea of a loving God. And they said, sorry, but that's the way it is. I said, I don't agree with you. And do you know what? They completely cut me off. They don't call me, they don't phone me, they don't text me, they don't answer my emails. They completely cut me off.
You sound like a jilted lover, Andy. What do you expect? Of course they cut you off.
Yeah, because
how can they associate with you? Because you ask questions and disagree with them. That's the nature of religion.
It, you know, well,
but here's the thing, Andy. Here's the thing. When the last guy that was just on was talking about having a way of verifying the existence of God through scientific means, regardless what his means we're talking about. I brought up that idea once upon a time, that what if there was a hypothetical technology wherein we could actually prove the existence of God by tracing the properties of God. And the people I was talking to became livid. They were outraged at that idea, because God must never be something that could be traced or identified or known or confirmed or measured in any capacity, because they all want God to be exactly what they imagine God to be, so that they never have to fess to being wrong about their belief in God. So when you're talking about, when you have two different people that have different opinions about God, try to establish which one of you is right. If neither of you can establish that either of you are right, then at least both of you admit that you both may be wrong, and that you might not even have a God to begin with. There's no way to distinguish. There's no way to distinguish these beliefs from the illusion of delusion, and a lot of people will admit that up front.
Well, I've been doing quite a lot of soul search in the past, I suppose, 2 months, and I mean, science can disprove God. It can't prove God, but science proves that the Earth is more than 10,000 years. It's more than 4.6 billion years old, or whatever. So am I going to believe a right-wing bullshit spouting fundamentalist Christian, or am I going to believe who hasn't got any science background and no science qualifications or anything like that, no PhD? Or am I going to believe a chap who's very bright, who's been to university and studied the sciences, who knows what he's talking about? Am I going to believe him, or am I going to believe the Bible-believing Christian right-wing fundy who's spouting the bullshit which I want to hear? No.
Well, here's another thing. When you talk about the word belief,
I'm going to believe the scientists, because they're the people who do the hard work. The scientists are the people who do the legwork, and there's plenty of creationists out there who just want to believe what they want to believe, because apparently the Bible says the Earth is 6,000 or 10,000
well,
years old.
As you rightly say, Andy, it doesn't say that. It's someone's interpretation of it. But as you also rightly say, Andy, please, as you also rightly say, science can neither prove nor disprove the existence of a God, as God as we understand it. Is there anything more than that you wanted to address? Because I've got people waiting.
All right, I'd like to just say one more thing, too. Try not to believe anybody. Reserve a modicum of doubt, because people with PhDs can be wrong.
Yeah. One more thing, Aaron, you can unblock me from your site now if you like.
Andy, always nice to talk to you. We'll catch up again soon, I'm sure.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hi, you are with us. So, hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. How can we help you?
Yep.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear well.
Okay, we're all fine. What's going on?
Well, so where are you from, gentlemen?
Can you just cut to the chase? It's very nice to have a bit of chit-chat, but we're supposed to be closing the show in a few minutes' time, so...
A few seconds. Okay. That was a new method of trolling I hadn't considered. Do absolutely nothing.
Now, this person is the one that says that they're definitely not a troll, so I'm not overly optimistic, but hey, we'll see. Emily should be with us in a moment.
That looks like a real person.
Hey, guys.
Oh, we can hear you.
Even a real girl, not like the last one.
It is. I'm not a troll.
Well, you say that. How can we help you, Emily?
All right, well, I'm not. I'm wondering what you all think of the new software, the Israeli software that can analyze different texts. They want to analyze the Bible, and what you think what kind of impact that's going to have on religion as a whole.
Can you explain the software you're referring to? Because I'm certainly not aware of it, and there may be people watching who aren't.
They've come up with some software that can analyze. One of the first books they started on was the Bible, and it can analyze the different authors. It can tell they have like a 99% accuracy to tell the different starts and stopping points of all the different authoring points. And so what I assume is that it's going to tear apart if they apply this to the Bible, they can apply this to other books, and it'll tear apart the religious people's viewpoints on their own Bible, which I think is the beginning.
It won't. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm sorry to cut through you, Emily, I don't think it will. Basically, all the software that you're describing, so far as I understand it, is all it is doing is what theologians have been doing for hundreds of years. And the fact that it is, as I said earlier on in the show, that no serious theologian claims that these books, for example, the Gospels were written by the purported authors. This has been known for a long time, and it hasn't had the faintest dent in people's beliefs. They just ignore the evidence. If people will close their mind to evidence that they don't want to hear. So whilst I think it's interesting, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. Concordance.
Yeah, if I'm reading the right article here, it says that it's basically facial recognition software for handwriting, so that they can match up ancient documents that were written by the same author. And I think that's what we're talking about here, is that there's an original text. You can tell who wrote it on paper. You know, if they were transcribing it from another document, you can't do anything about it. But if you have, say, 3 personal correspondences and 1 or 2 official documents that were written, it can help to match those up. So I'm sure that will be helpful in historical reconstruction, but the Bible is not dependent on historical chronologies. And we have, I guess, almost no copies of original texts left. I mean, the Dead Sea Scrolls were a translation of a translation, as I understand it. So that wouldn't be terribly...
I mean, I did a video on the history of the King James Version of the Bible, and I described it. I think it's called telephones in America. We call it Chinese whispers. But the problem with the Bible is that, as Concordance just pointed out, the Dead Sea Scrolls aren't even the originals. So you're talking about trying to decipher a message, and you haven't got the original to compare it to. But I think it doesn't matter how much evidence is put forward in front of certain people, they will just simply discard it. Ignore it, maybe a better. Emily, I'll have to look into that. It sounds interesting, but as I say, I'm not optimistic it's going to change the face of religion as we know it. But thank you very much for your call. I'm going to remove you because we've got a few more people and we're already running over time.
Hey, do you think that maybe that you could almost credit religion for making science progress in spite of it? Would that make sense? Or do you see what I'm saying? Does it inspire science to move forward to prove it wrong, or does just science go on without it and it doesn't matter?
Science just goes on without it, and religion is doing everything it can to retard or impede it. The video that is currently featured on my channel is not one of my own. It's one I happened across that compares critical thinking with mystical thinking, and it's not just that you believe in magic, it's that you believe ridiculous things, or you believe what you do for ridiculous reasons, or perhaps when you believe, you don't believe in the same way that I believe. You believe as an act of will. There are people who understand that reality exists whether I do or not, and there are people who think that they create their own reality, or that they are responsible for everything that happens around them. And if you believe hard enough, you can make reality bend to your will. That's what they call mind over matter. I was actually taught to believe in this kind of stuff when I was a kid. And I came to realize that certain things will continue to exist regardless whether I believe in them or not. And conversely, they're not going to start existing if I believe in them. That if they didn't exist already, they're not going to become real.
Right, but do you see it as maybe a foundation for inspiration for discovery? I'm trying to find one good thing out of it, and maybe it just encourages people.
I've often imagined what it would be like for an alien race that didn't have this sort of a mental impediment. And when they come to analyze our species, and they find out that there are people who believe things on faith and what faith really means, and it's really disturbing, actually. I mean, when you look at the way the people that are not critical thinkers, when they don't go for confirmation bias, when they make unsubstantiated and unjustified assumptions and then assert them as fact because they want them to be, and not because they actually are. I think it's akin to a psychological disorder, and it's certainly good camouflage for psychological disorders. I am in your situation where I cannot find one good aspect in religion at all.